Danger Seekers. We do the stuff your owner's manual warned you to never do.
Welcome to Danger Seekers. I'm your host, Dr. Dan. This week's episode takes a look at pressure washers. All of the owner's manuals that you'll ever get with a pressure washer warn you against pointing the water spray at people, pets, or livestock. It is incredibly dangerous and can cause significant injuries very quickly.
Mr. Ernstrom thought, 1 second can't hurt me, and look at the damage done to the layers of his skin. He got off easy because pressure washers can penetrate your skin and inject water deep into your body.
This week we have a few volunteers who will take the full force of the pressure washer to show you how much damage can occur. Remember, don't try this at home. These volunteers are trained professionals, and we have the best medical professionals we could afford. We have a huge selection of pressure washers, so we decided to use these models commonly found at retail stores.
A Z-Clean 1400 PSI electric pressure washer. A Power Washer 1800 PSI electric pressure washer. A Power Washer 3000 PSI gasoline-powered pressure washer.
We also have some machines commonly used by professionals or are available at local rental stores. These include
a Simpson belt drive water shotgun 3500 PSI at 4 gallon a minute. And a Delco Cobalt skid mount pressure washer delivering 3000 PSI at 5 gallon a minute hot water.
These brave volunteers have donated their bodies to science, and we're going to show you what happens if you don't heed this critical warning.
We started at 6 inches with a 15-degree spray pattern. While it does not look like any damage occurred, we could see slight scuff marks. However, the damage becomes noticeable when we changed over to a 0-degree spray pattern and sprayed the pumpkin. Dimples and dents began to appear, penetrating through the skin.
This shows us that even an innocent-looking pressure washer like this little model can penetrate your skin and flesh. Good boy. But now, on to something a little more powerful.
Here, the 1800 PSI model hurt the pumpkin pretty good at 6 inches at a 15-degree spray and did some damage right away. No matter what model of pressure washer you're using, don't point it at people, pets, or livestock.
Since we're getting results from all of our introductory models, the 1400 at 1.3 gallon a minute and the 1800 at 1.5 gallon a minute, we decided to skip a lot of the interim units and go right to the top end. We thought about digging out the 2200 at 2.2 gallon a minute or the 3000 at 2.5 gallon a minute, but they're going to damage stuff just as badly, in fact even worse, than what you saw with those introductory consumer electric models. So we decided instead we'd go right to the top end, get out the big boy, the Cobalt Skid, 3000 PSI, 5 gallon a minute. Let's see what this can do to some pumpkins.
We started with a 15-degree nozzle and sprayed the pumpkins at 6 inches. We saw some cutting of the surface along the axis of the water spray and knew this machine was going to do some serious damage. So we stepped up to the 0-degree nozzle, tore off the measuring rod, and ripped into those pumpkins with everything we had. One was knocked loose from our mounting board and tried to escape. Others were not so lucky. The damage is incredible. We hope you can see why this is not a toy, and you need to respect the pressure washer. It can be a very powerful cleaning machine.
So you say to me, you know, Dr. Dan, I'm stronger than a pumpkin. I'm tougher than a pumpkin. Yeah, Binky? How about some solid wood? Let's take a look at what we can do with this.
At first we thought the 1400 PSI model would not damage this fresh wood board, but check it out. This compact machine generated enough pressure to damage the wood. Let's let the Cobalt Skid have the last word. We started with a 15-degree nozzle and did some damage, and then used the 0-degree nozzle and began cutting the board in half. Imagine the power it takes to rip wood apart like this, and you understand why we say don't point pressure water spray guns at people, pets, or livestock.
That's all for this week's episode of Danger Seekers. I'm your host, Dr. Dan. Tune in again next week when we take the show on the road and go to Chicago, Illinois, and see what it's like to try and vote Republican in a Democratic stronghold. As always, members of Danger Seekers are trained professionals. We take the risks so you don't have to. Don't try this at home. And always wear your safety glasses.